Actually, I hope and pray that all of you and your family is safe and doing well. Today I am going to speak about transformation, cloud computing concepts, and the related issues with reference to the pandemic time especially. Well enough?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Thank you. So I'll share my and then I will be discussing these concepts one by one. Professor Pal, I'm not able to. I need the permission, I think, for that.
Yes, please, please. I'm giving you the permission. Wait. Madam, please check whether you are able to share the screen.
Yes, yes, now I can. Is my screen visible to all of you?
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am,
madam.
it's visible.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. That I'm going to speak about digital transformation and cloud management issues. So myself, Dr. Madhu Agnihotri. So today I have just designed this lecture mentioned on the screen. First, I will discuss about what is digital transformation and what is the current trend in study which was conducted in the month of August. So on that basis, some insights I will be sharing with you. The effect of COVID pandemic. I will introduce the concept of cloud systems to you and about the issues of concern. All right, and then we will complete the session with few conclusions. Whole session. So basically, digital transformation. So before we go into the current trends, we need to understand digital transformation. So as the name indicates, digital transformation, it is about adoption of transform services or businesses through replacing non-digital or manual processes with the digital. Existing digital or older digital technology with the newer technology which can cater to the current requirement. Through digital transformation, business organizations expect to achieve higher level of efficiency of you can say more accuracy and a better delivery of the requirements to the stakeholders. So it this digital solutions through automation it for automating the various business processes, it has to incorporate the new innovations. It has to think in terms of new type of can achieve more agility and operational efficiency in business activities. Technologies like say artificial intelligence, data analytics, or this automation, this can be improved significantly and transformation can become much more effective. So actually focuses on the recurring kind of processes, that is the processes which are those processes can be converted into automated processes so that the constructive workforce of the organ can be put to some other constructive work, some more strategic work rather than the so it actually changes the way businesses work. So if I take the statement, some CMO of two very big companies, they states that the global pandemic has some, and the remote working, it has become a norm now. So it with the increased leverage of cloud, the transition to greater workplace and flexibility has become possible. And Simpson Harrison from Avaya uh, stated that COVID has accelerated the process of digital transformation, and it has put a new employee experiences, which earlier maybe used to matter, but it but those were not, which it has become now the norm. So work from anywhere, it is the new business model too. So with this, we understand that an organization, if they want to uh, adapt to the digital transformation, it is not just about adapting the latest technology or adapting, implementing it, but it is actually about finding out the right combination of the organizational team implement the new technology, and then finding the appropriate technology which suits the business requirement. So it has to be organizational team along with the most appropriate activity for the business. Also, can you please mute? There is some noise coming.
Rajdeep, please mute yourself. Rajdeep, sorry for interruption, ma'am.
Thank you, because actually I was getting diverted. An organization, if they want to go for many digital transformation, these two things, it requires the right combination of the organizational structure along with the most appropriate technology for that business. Is that this change, this adoption of the new method or this new model, it has to be higher organization. Implementing the new technology is not just the responsibility of, but it has to be done throughout the organization in such a way so that the whole organization in making this digital transformation a reality. So the people of the organization made aware about what is going on, how the things will be implemented, and what is the role of the employees in making it a transformation is going to happen. With that, how the employees' way of work is going to adapt to this, and if any kind of training is needed, in that case, those things also needs to be made available. So digital transfer one person or one team task, but the whole organization needs to be involved for this. So a recent survey which I was conducted in the US, UK, France, and Germany, and it was conducted on 450 heads of the various enterprises. It the results have shown that 73% of the organizations have made significant or better improvement in their improvement in the end user experience in their organization, and 20 revolutionized the way they interact with the customers, the way they are doing their business. So it has a the reality is that whether an organization wants it or not, ultimately this digital transformation is bound to happen to survive in market, they have to go for this transformation, they have to do it. And in this pandemic, the speed has been accelerated. One study by Microsoft, they in one of their reports they stated that the digital transformation expected to happen in coming 4 years. In coming 4 years, it has happened just. So it has to happen. Without this, an organization cannot survive in the current scenario. However, there are few that needs to be given attention, like the organization which are running the legacy technology, legacy applications for years, migrating to the newer platform, and whether the newer platform is more complicated or not. If yes, in that case, organization, that is another area of concern. And also whether at all an organization has the skills and the resources transformation, or they need to wait. So how these things will happen, these are the these needs to planning has to be made. And average spending in the same report, the average spending on the digital transformation projects in the coming been it has been, it shows the expected spending. So the France is supposed to $1 million in this process, and US, UK, and Germany are just between you can see $24.9 million spending. In this, also when we talk about this online platform, whenever we are going setup, in that case, cyber security becomes, it's a very crucial issue that comes automatically in picture. Whenever we are, security issue has to be considered very, very with a high priority. So in this, there are in market which has been adapted by organizations like DevOps, CI, or CD. So I'll be highlighting only the cloud one right now. So for cloud, 62% of the respondents, they the extremely important issue, and 33% stated that it is very important. So you can understand that security is really a, for digital transformation, organizations needs to understand it very clearly that the process will take place, how the new technology will be implemented, new that has to be incorporated into the very beginning. It should be an integral part of the whole software development cycle from the beginning itself, that can be just plugged in later on and we expect the better results. No, it should be an integral, so that the implementation of the that setup, the computing setup, that implement benefits. And in Indian scenario, it's a report of 2017, actually, this detailed report I got. Pandemic event, it revealed that digital transformation was happening, and 92% digital, without digital transformation, they cannot survive in market. So it was well understood by the organizations well ahead of this pandemic also, that it is the need of the hour and organizations need. So also the research has shown that cloud migration, it is a most mentioned that there are various type of computing solutions that has been in market. So cloud migration is effective one. However, DevOps, it is the second type of, you can say, the taken up. DevOps basically, it is a philosophy that aims at bridging the gap between the develop community. In IT industry, it's a problem that the people who develop the softwares and ultimately who actually use implement, sometimes a gap between the two teams, the understanding of the concepts, implementation of the things, implement problem and the coding problem. These are quite different kind of things. So DevOps basically it's a philosophy that this gap by so that the productivity can be improved, the infrastructure things can be done in more better way. And CI, it stands for continuous integration and continuous deployment or delivery. Also another model which is in market, and 62% of the respondents are using this model as well. Here also it is like once software development, one model has been given to the organization now wherever they face some problem, they report it to the team, and the team then again improvise on that, develop the them. So it is continuous process. And microservices, it represents basically, to put it in a simple way, and you can say that there are various components of the modules, and each module cater to a specific service. However, among all these setups, cloud to be the most mature initiative, because cloud setup, or you can say cloud computing or cloud systems, use the idea of providing the IT, the computing services on rent to organizations. Also, the deployment is very easy. It is easily scalable, and it can be easily used very easily. So we will discuss the features after this. So cloud computing, it became the lifeline of for and 38% of businesses have a scaled infrastructure to meet new levels of demand. During it was suddenly this lockdown happened and the whole scenario of the world changed. So the ways of adjusting with this kind of problem, this new situation, and they had to continue to work in market as there. Many businesses found cloud system to be more appropriate and easy to adapt to. 100 million meeting participants, and Microsoft reported 2 years worth of digital transformation took place. This line, this I have picked up from an article of April. So now these months have passed, and there is much more. So the key areas in this pandemic time had been the remote teamwork, uh, online customer support, sales, go to the companies or to the shops to make the purchases. So online sales and support, and for that, as the companies are depending on the cloud setup, that is why companies had think about companies also had to think about the security issues or the critical issues of the cloud system. So crisis demanded a swift dismantling of internal barriers to cloud tech adoption. So even companies who had to this technology, due to this crisis, sudden crisis, companies had to adapt to this new features of cloud computing. And some of the important features I have listed here, like in case of cloud, if you need a particular service, accordingly the service will be provided to you. So you don't need to huge amount to avail the service. If your cloud service provider, that is CSP, is able to provide whichever service you require, you only simply are uh, asking or subscribing for that service, and just to pay. So as you require, only the service will be enabled for you. If you don't require, you can inform the CSP this particular service. So as per the demand, the service is provided. Also, various type of resources can be made available. It can be storage space, it can be for the processing capability, it can be for it can be for any other kind of suppose the infrastructural or you can say the software support sources are available which can be used. Also, it can be accessed from anytime, anywhere. Downtime is negligible. You can say it is always reliable. Even if one particular server is down, cloud maintains data. You will even not able to understand that the server is down for some time. So it provides reliable service. You and it is very scalable. Like if a service you require, suppose for a particular project, you require the support of so you can avail the service, use the subscribe for that particular software usage, maybe for the month or two, like that. Don't no more need that particular service, you can just simply stop using it. Maybe right now you require only 10 people to you require 200 people to work on that service. You only need to inform your service provider and immediately this need to bother about that. And the payment will be only as per the usage. If you are using a service, then only you have to pay. Other and in clouds, the cloud service provider also they uses automated measured services. Means an algorithm which can automatically calculate that which service for how much time with the whole timestamp is maintained, and automatically you will also be able to watch, see, monitor that which type of service. So it is a quite transparent service. And then very important factor for business that it is very economical. These are the significant features of cloud setup. There are various deployment models, public, private. So just quickly, I will just tell you, public cloud, it is like the resources are shared among the multiple. Even if it is shared resources, the data of individual user will be protected. So, but still, security is low, but security is there. It doesn't mean that there is no security at all. We all are using public cloud setup for our mail account. Excuse me. So security is there, but not of a very high level. And sensitive data should not be stored in public cloud. This is shown in the diagram. This private cloud, it provides the highest level of security. It basically resource to the subscriber. So in this resource, no other user will be allowed access. No other user will this particular cloud. And hybrid cloud is the combination of the two. Obviously, public cloud will be very some of the services we are enjoying free of cost, and for little higher level of services we have to. In case of private cloud, it as it is dedicated, much more secure, so cost is high. So organizations needs to find which data and how much data they will be keeping in public cloud and how much data they can keep in private cloud, so that they get the economic benefit as well. So sensitive data should be in the private cloud, and operational data can also the service models. There are various service models, but these three are the most fundamental service models. Name indicates it provides software as a service. So consumer applications, various type of software support we can get on-the-shelf software, as well as it can be a customized software as well, but mostly it is on-the-shelf software. Infrastructure as a service, as the name indicates, it is on-demand creation of, it is basically for sharing the resources, like say, or say you are into some kind of work which required huge processing capability. So uh, services can be provided with this, and platform as a service, it is mainly for the primarily for the developers. And now the basics of cloud computing, we can discuss what are the important uh, uh, threats in the system. There are many, but few I will highlight in this discussion as time is running out. You can just simply Google and find out. These are the recent cases of attack on cloud systems. And basically, the key threats are which are identified in those cases are these which I have listed here. Some people have the habit of using the same credential, that is, or user ID and password, on multiple websites because they find so many user ID and passwords that they are using on multiple websites. So what these intruders do, they get hold of your able to crack one user ID and password, and then they try out that ID password randomly on multiple websites. Site like on Facebook or LinkedIn, they can understand our area of interest and they can assume, or they can the kind of websites where we can have account, and they try to put these in put these credentials over there and try to, so this happens. So this is one of the threat. Another is amplification attack. This is also another very important threat, that the attacker, it is not damaging the system, but what it is doing, it is sending user, and in the process, in the transition process, that one request exponentially multiplies itself system. It becomes like say one request, it gets converted into 1000 requests. It amplifies tremendously, and system is if one request, the time it takes to process one request and the time that it will take to process 1000, and it will keep the system very busy. So it gradually makes the system unresponsive. Mem crashing, uh, it is one kind of threat which can actually it can capture in the UDP portal. So what it does, it actually catches that particular error, and then accordingly that system. So on UDP port, there is one particular one port which is used. So whenever a request is given over the request is sent to that port number is revealed. So in that identity. So that is one kind of threat that systems face. Unauthorized access, applying different kind of algorithms to get unauthorized access to the system. And Zoom bombing, it is basically a practice of video conversation. So in unauthorized way, they get into the Zoom meeting and they try to hack the video conferencing or the conversation that is threats. And so in order to manage these kind of threats, some of the issues companies needs to they go for the cloud management. That is, they have to see that a lot of cloud service metadata very carefully. As I said, that if port number is revealed, sometimes the internal information also gets revealed. So this properly so that this kind of problem doesn't arise. Also, multi-factor authentication. That is again another very important can ensure that the credentials, the login credentials for different services that are secure. The system should use different credentials for different services, and also the multi-factor authentication should be in. Also, the data that is stored in the cloud, for that proper encryption technique must be implemented, and all that data that also has to be made secure. And if there is any third parties provider who is providing the security service, they should ensure that it is trustworthy and providing the reliable services. So there are so just I will quickly wind up. I'll try to wind up in 2 minutes. So the data must be analyzed sensitively, so that which data should be kept on public cloud, which should be on private cloud. That has to be there has to be a clear identification. Providers' credentials must be checked, because cloud service provider, we cannot just subscribe for the service today and tomorrow we cannot just simply go to another service provider. It's a long-term association. Verified properly. Service level agreements must be read carefully before finalizing the contract. Has been implemented, whether it has involved any third party service in between or not. So and then the organization, will the service provider provide the will cater to the changing requirements or not. So the service level agreement, and then it should be finalized. And statutory legislation in our country, we do not have as such any protection, a clearly defined guidelines for the data that is secured on cloud, and then the related security issues. What happens, because the service level agreements are too long and complex in nature, some companies they actually don't read it and finalize the deal, but it should not be done, because there are chances of data leakage and misuse in such cases. We can conclude with this, that CSP, we should choose the cloud service provider. Setup is the new normal that the companies has to take up, because of its very easy to use, easy, and also the cost benefits. So the service provider has to be selected very carefully, who is providing reliable service. So with this, I would like to stop here now, and then if you have any, ask me. Thank you.
Thank you, madam. If any,
just 2 minutes, I think you have.
If anybody has any questions, students, you can ask. Any questions? So I don't think anyone wants to ask any. Yes, some chat. Let me see. Okay.
In chat some.
Yes. Yes. Now all of you can unmute yourself. Ritu Parna?
Yes, ma'am. Good afternoon, ma'am. Ma'am, actually, I had a question. Like, it's just not very much aware of these internal technicalities while using this cloud. I know layman facilities in such a large scale, but still, ma'am, is these cookies and other things that are used for our experience is better on the cloud? Like if I am going for some thing, it will recommend me some. Are they safe? Like can they be a reason for means I am losing any data or something?
Parna, these cookies, actually these days every website asks us to accept the cookies, right? Course, these are simply simple files which stores the data about our browsing pattern. Now it is accepting the cookies because these cookies may also
Days like any site or sometimes where the security is very high, and I'm very much aware that okay, here I can registered or renowned site. So in that case, at times they are suggesting me passwords like they have set for those protocol for that setting those passwords. Should we use uh, rely on our own passwords which we are going for?
Many,
Ma'am,
I want to
suggest,
understand your question.
ma'am. Yes,
Like
ma'am.
say, you are saying that they are suggesting the password. It means that they are suggesting the format of the password.
They are giving you a password, not
Like
just the
say,
format, but like
mhm.
for example, I'm using every day. So once if I have visited some site for any renowned company or something while registering for exam kind of thing, there they are saying that the policy is you should have these many letters, this that my browser is offering, like you can use the suggested password which we are providing, that kind
it's
of. Yes. Okay.
it's better to avoid that. And also in Gmail, also you will see, like if you have enabled two-factor, case you will see it also gives you 10 codes.
Yes, ma'am.
In
There
case
is a
suppose
limit.
your
Yes, ma'am.
mobile is not
Yes.
in that case, you can use
Yes.
those codes. So keep it in reserve only use those when you are suppose in say border area, this
That
thing.
is true.
Only this, keep it reserved for that kind of situation, but otherwise it
Situation.
is better to avoid these. The
Okay.
more independent for you are actually,
Of course, ma'am.
like
Thank you,
that.
ma'am. Thank you.
Any other question?
Ma'am, in between you
If
Ma'am, in
someone
between
is speaking,
told about UDP actually refers
it
to.
is user datagram protocol. User datagram protocol. So if you have protocol setup, so it is a connection less protocol, which is used for online messaging service. Here it uses a port number. So if it is not configured properly, it gets revealed, which is the internal information of the actually outside. And through that port, that information only that cloud setup of a particular company, data breach happened through that port only, that leakage only. So that's why
Okay,
they
ma'am.
were able
So, ma'am,
that we're passing through that particular port.
okay, ma'am. Ma'am, actually, I was thinking about this from a long time that and WhatsApp used to use this cloud thing for messaging. So, is our messages saved in that
No,
somehow WhatsApp can read or all those things? Not only
see,
WhatsApp.
end-to-end encryption when it says
Yes,
this
ma'am. Yes, and
encryption
that's
is providing you security only when okay, but when message is stored on the servers, it is not encrypted. Like say the data that we drive, mail account drive, that is not encrypted, isn't it?
okay, ma'am.
When we keep it in our mail account, we keep it in drive. You keep your class notes in drive, it is fine, no problem. But your sensitive data should not It is not encrypted.
Okay, ma'am.
Anyone from that company can get access to that.
So, ma'am,
Any internal access.
so, ma'am, do all the messaging app use encryption?
No, no.
Okay. But the encryption chatting is somehow dangerous. It can harm us if the messaging app
Yes,
is
mane,
not encrypted.
actually, mane, I was discussing it with someone. So I said ki, mane, anyone who has some about a boy who did one small course, a crash course kind of 2-3 months kind of crash course for developing mobile app. He did after class 10 exams, and then he was able to crack the money. He can just break into the messages for anybody. So
So,
it's
ma'am,
not
how to
so.
avoid all those things? Ma'am,
The
how
first
can
thing
we?
avoid, we have to survive in this world with all these things only. The only thing is that we can be cautious. We have to be aware. This mobile phone or tab, these are your personal gadgets now. So please
Yes.
remember it always. These are your personal gadgets. Don't in for 5 minutes. Don't leave these
Yes, ma'am.
things unattended with anyone, because through mobile you are able to access account is configured over there. Anyone can get access to that. So these are your personal gadgets now. So you should be very careful and aware, especially now. Money now these have become our life actually. Money, all the
Yes,
things
ma'am.
we are doing with these gadgets only now. It with anybody. So
And ma'am,
and
one
don't
more
keep
thing,
your
like when
passwords open. And another thing is don't save your password in the browser. To that browser also sometimes offers to save passwords. Don't save it. If it is your system, even then don't save it, because sometimes say give me your laptop for 10 minutes, I need to send one important mail. You cannot deny, you
yes,
can give, isn't it? There's no harm in that. If you save all your passwords in the browser, with that browser feature,
yes, ma'am.
in that case anyone who opens the browser, isn't it? So you have to
Right.
be cautious. Bas. If you are aware, be cautious. Keeping your purse openly in market and expecting nobody will take anything from the purse. It's like that. So you have to be
Yes, ma'am.
cautious.
The question, ma'am, as everyone is asking about these chattings and the social media which we are using every day, and they say it is encrypted. Okay, but there is a backup process which is linked to my mail ID. Data which are accessed by me in the chat
And because
all
of
get
that only, so the money actually accessed
got exposed or accessed.
Yeah,
by
yeah.
the investigation agency. So what happens? The features of WhatsApp, the by default these features are on. By default backup feature is on. So we never switch it. Anybody who gets access to the server, they can access it.
Ma'am, that means any activity online is monitored or tracked.
It can be tracked. It can be monitored.
If someone,
If you, yes, yes. So our future hacker.
no.
I was
But
watching
it's
an
very
interview of
interesting
Sundar
area.
Pichai.
Sorry, what?
From last day, I was watching an interview of Sundar Pichai on the court has claimed that on Google that Google is monitoring each and every activity of ours, like where the phone is. So, ma'am, they are getting each and every information of every second of ours. So, ma'am, this is also not safe. So, ma'am,
No, not in our country. We do not have a legal protection for the data that we provide to companies in online mode. of you have Facebook profile? All, right? Everyone, isn't it? Acha.
Yes, ma'am.
So, do you know what is Facebook profile?
No, ma'am.
Well, exact figure I also don't know. Actually, one of my senior, it is still going on. So that time, around I think before pandemic, somewhere in February or March, he told me that he has calculated using some form money, some money data. He has calculated this, and he has file which is not very active. Even in that case, the minimum amount that minimum monetary value of that profile, and the profile which are very active and are always money doing something, one price is high. Our data, every data has a saleable value. Wherever we go, we are actually donating our data freely. It at all. You go visit any shop, they give you a form. You please fill it up. You are making a purchase in any say shop. You are waiting at the counter, sales counter. They give you a form. Please fill it up. Even in that, yeah, FB mall. So there, FBB mall. So there I went. I made one me to fill up a form, and it was asking a lot of details. In fact, it was 2-page form. In fact, it was asking for my academic background and then my family details. Things. So I asked him, what will you do with this information? He said, ma'am, this has to be done. Otherwise, this money, I cannot continue. Keep the form and keep the product also with you. I'm not interested. So then he said, okay, please wait. Then he spoke to his manager. It is your choice. We cannot compel you to fill up the form. But usually these people are given the instruction that you must fill up the form, insist the customers to fill up the form. So all this data that we are freely donating here and there, all from this data, actually the companies are. So we should be cautious. Don't you said how to be money safe? It's just be cautious. It's your value. So don't donate it here and there. Use it in alert way. Stay cautious.
Madhu madam, there
Yes.
is one more question from Videsh Roy. Videsh, you can ask.
Yeah, ma'am. There is any technology in present days besides blockchain which can be the most secure for the internet security, cyber security?
There are many, actually. A lot of many research is. Many companies are saying that blockchain is safe, but then again there are many are raising questions on the safety that it. There are many combinations available, so.
Ma'am, can you give some of examples? Then besides blockchain, the other technologies which are now people are researching on.
Actually,
security features.
is not.
Yeah, okay. My question is, there is any other technologies in market future for cybersecurity beside blockchain?
As of now, right now, blockchain is the. Right now, blockchain is the hype. So blockchain is not only for security, but yes, it is able of many flow of information in the whole chain. So that is why it is considered to be providing. But as of now, blockchain is the hype actually. But
Okay,
otherwise,
ma'am.
so analytics and these things are there. So yeah. Okay. So any other question?
I don't think any other question from any student. So can we end this meeting, students? Anyone wants to ask any question? Okay. With
I
this,
was
we
just thinking about, I have, yes, ma'am. Ma'am, seen, I've read somewhere that there are three types of and uh, deep web. There are three kind of web. So we use only people in our world use surface web. So ma'am, is dark web and deep web, those are also connected to cloud computing? Those data are also saved in, and if it is it
Well,
safe to use all those?
in one way, you can say it is stored in some virtual the cloud setup which we usually discuss, because the cloud setup we usually discuss in context of business applications, and for these purpose we usually discuss this setup. So apart from that, data is available, not exactly that cloud setup which we usually discuss in this context.
Okay.
okay. With this, we come to the end of the webinar. Thank you, madam, once again for your enlightening
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
speech. With this, I am ending the meeting. Thank you once again.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am, for this wonderful session. Thank you.
Thank you.